Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I am here with Darwish. He is co-founder at OpenBorder, and he's going to be speaking about how to win with Black Friday, Cyber Monday this year with having a more focused international strategy. And with that, I'm going to pass over to Darwish. But before actually, too, we have the gift cards still every session. So this one, we're giving away $50 Amazon gift card. Stay active in the chat. If you have questions for Darwish, we can answer them at the end. But with that, I'm going to hand it over to Darwish.
Hey everybody, nice to meet. Darwish here from OpenBorder. We help brands grow their international revenue with everything from everything from shipping, taxes, duties, and optimizing your marketing and CAC abroad as well. So focus for today really is that every year the peak season gets more and more competitive. Brands are spending more, and really want to talk about how there's potentially some revenue left on the table. So I'm going to share some strategies that we found brands take to unlock their international revenue. A little bit of background on myself, just to help color the conversation. Prior to this, actually started my own e-commerce brands, Lumen, men's skincare line, Meridian. Our brands together, we built a 100 million run rate company in the 3.5 years. Half of our revenue actually came from international markets. So we have a deep amount of experience with not only just shipping internationally, but also how do you get meaningful amounts of revenue internationally. And what makes holiday times particularly interesting is these are times that are out index on international opportunities to both build your brand abroad, but also to capture incremental sales. Interestingly, and not a lot of folks realize this, but 80% of peak season sales actually happen outside of the US in 2024. International is actually the fastest growing segment of e-commerce. And we see this often with all of our merchants. We have hundreds of merchants that if you look at their growth in Q4, the growth in international markets can sometimes be twice that relative to the domestic markets in that time frame. So it's a big buying moment and a great way to, if you're even international for the first time, to build your brand and make a name for yourself to where you can actually build that market up over time the rest of the next year. A few things to note here. What does this motion really look like? It really means all the promotions you're running in the US, take those same ads, those same promotions, and run them on Facebook, on Google, into other English-speaking markets with very little kind of effort on the paid media side, and you can use someone like us to help you on the logistics. So ads is one component. How do you market? Facebook's made that very easy. The other component, though, is how do you convert? So I want to talk through some of the things that you should be aware of when you are selling to international customers, because it can be a big part of your Q4 sales strategy. Number one, 25% of all abandoned carts internationally happen due to unclear fees at checkout. And so you want to make sure that if you're doing shipping internationally, you have a DDP option, or basically the ability to show upfront any amount of taxes, duties, custom fees that someone's going to pay at the checkout itself, and tell them that this is the final cost you pay. There will be nothing else. We've tested this pretty rigorously and have found improvement in conversion rate when you actually show clarity on total cost. Another thing to think about also is your shipping rules internationally. So don't just think about passing your shipping costs to the customer directly. Really, there are ways to actually personalize your shipping price based on the customer or the market you're selling into. We recommend potentially even A/B testing ahead of Q4 time. What are the most optimal shipping prices by region? In some cases, you could be charging more for shipping to get margin. In other cases, by dropping shipping prices a bit, you're going to get a lot of conversion bump, which will pass over into your cost of acquisition. And so there are some A/B testing tools. We have some as well that can help you run this analysis, and that can oftentimes improve LTV CAC on the range of 10 to 15%. Just with these types of optimizations. Returns is another big area of opportunity for international, and especially in Q4. So if you think about a bunch of new buyers coming on, looking for and learning about a cool brand like yours to buy product from, if you think about returns as being an important part of your buying process in the US, it's equally important for someone buying abroad. And so one thing that you should be very cognizant of is how do you get returns to be as low cost as possible. And so one of the things you could look into is not just having customers internationally return products from their final destination back to your 3PL, but actually allow them to return those goods to somewhere in their country or in their region. Those regional returns will be a lot cheaper, a lot faster, improve a lot of trust for the consumer. And we've seen double-digit conversion rate improvements when brands are able to show a local returns experience for international customers to the local region instead of having them book the whole thing back to the U.S. So these are all some things to think about when it comes to returns. And when you have returns, you'll find that customers tend to be a lot more confident that this is a brand that is able to and has sold to international consumers in the past. If you're new to international and you're thinking, hey, how do I get started? And maybe I should try this Q4 to activate international markets for myself. The fastest way to start doing this is shipping cross-border from your ShipBob's facilities. That's a very fast start. You can get up and running very quickly. You can ship from your existing hubs 5 to 12 days globally. It's going to be a little bit higher cost than if you were to ship from a local fulfillment center, but it's a very easy way to test and get started. If you are starting to get some scale, or you've been selling internationally for some time and you think, hey, I want to really improve my international experience, one thing you could also look at is moving your goods into local warehouses abroad. This could be the UK, the Netherlands, Australia, all where ShipBob's has nodes, and basically housing the goods there to ship. With a partner like OpenBorder, you can get up and running in a setup like that within 1 to 2 months, where we handle all the compliance and tax for you. And the improvements you're going to get from a performance perspective really come in a few areas. Number one, delivery speeds will drop from 5 to 12 days down to 1 to 3 on the upper end. The cost per order can be about 30% lower. And what you'll find is that speed improvement and being able to tell somebody with a delivery promise, even pre-checkout, like right here, this is a PDP of a brand store. We're able to guarantee delivery because it's a local shipment. This can have a 20% conversion rate improvement or 20% CAC improvement. So you talk about 20% CAC reduction, 20 to 50% cost reduction by shipping from a local market. Add those two things up, and you have a fundamentally different offering and unit economics that you're working with abroad, and those can unlock a lot of extra scale for customers. So if you're doing some international already or want to take a big swing, this is a place I definitely recommend looking at. It is not just shipping cross-border, but shipping in country, and with partners like us, you can get up and running very fast with that. In terms of and then also I'd like to say, some of the biggest things that people are concerned about when it comes to shipping internationally from local warehouses is, do I have to send all of my SKUs there? What I'd recommend actually is take your top sellers, send them into a local warehouse. Everything else, ship from the US and ship it cross-border. If you do this in what we call like a hybrid setup, you can actually de-risk where you have the majority of your orders going with very low cost, very fast shipping, and the rest going with a more moderate speed type solution that's more medium in cost. And so we have tools and to help you coordinate all this, but this is a setup that you can think about to de-risk that move in country to your international ShipBob's fulfillment nodes. Another area for international that I would recommend thinking about for holiday time is actually also marketplaces. So this could be Amazon, even TikTok Shop. These are moments where there'll be a lot of promotional activity, and you can create your brand in a new market overnight if you capture one of these markets correctly. So another area where a little bit of 1 to 2 months ahead of time you can get set up, but you can sell across Amazon, TikTok Shop, direct to consumer in parallel side by side. And this is a place we also can help you think through and execute on very quickly. So maybe just summarizing a couple of pitfalls we've seen folks think about with international. Number one is settling duties and taxes after the fact. Big no-no. A lot of shipping delays can be caused if your goods today are shipped without collecting tax and duty up front. In holiday times, it can get a lot worse. And so you don't want that to be the time where things start to get caught and customers get annoyed. Operationally, I would just really think about the returns experience you have and how you show shipping cost to customers. And then finally, play around with messaging, particularly delivery promises. If you're able to fulfill locally, you can make very aggressive claims on shipping speed, and those improve conversion double-digit percentages when we see them happen. So Yep, final checklist here. If you were to take away 5 things in this short presentation, duties, taxes broken out very clearly at checkout. Tell the customer there's nothing more they'll pay than what they're seeing today. Faster and cheaper will be better for conversion, as you know. Extra true in peak season time. It's an even more price elastic moment for brands. Messaging optimized for every conversion on pricing. You could even consider pricing locally. Easy local returns for brands that have returns as a part of their experience. Big important part of conversion rate always, but extra so during this time. And then top sellers is the easiest way to start with the local fulfillment. You don't got to move everything. Just take your top, what composes 70 to 80% of your SKUs, move those in country. Everything else long tail can come from the US. And we have services that help with all of these solutions. They can get you up and running very fast. And we work with dozens of ShipBob merchants today. So just let us know if you want to chat. All right, so that's the last item for us. I want to make one final announcement. Also, if you do book, everyone here is entered into the raffle for that gift card. We're going to double the bounty if you are interested and you book a meeting with our team before the 18th. So you just go to openborder.com/contact us, and we're open to doubling the bounty for anyone in that raffle for the gift card. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Darwish. We do have a couple of questions, so keep them coming.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have one to start, but keep them coming, you guys. Paul asked, what CX safeguards does OpenBorder use to handle returns, disputes, and refunds across borders with minimized friction?
Yeah, totally. So oftentimes, like one of the biggest areas of CX issues with international is like the deliverability of the order itself. And so we actually handle the entire compliance, classification. We ship with our carriers, it's our customs brokers. And so because we have full control, basically the end-to-end shipping process, that lost in transit package problem tends to go away. If there's a problem in customs, it's our brokers, we can call them and move it through. So we tend to remove brands from this process almost entirely. So that's in getting the shipment out there in the first place in terms of disputes. In terms of returns and refunds, I think the really good thing about us is having easy returns process reduces any friction you get around people huffing and puffing about returns. So it's very easy for a brand or for a consumer to say, hey, this is really annoying. I got to return something from the UK all the way back to the US. It's super expensive. You kind of cheated me out of this. But if you can tell them, hey, look, we have a local regional returns process as you would any other brand, it kind of removes the ability for them to nag about these different processes. And so what we found is just by getting streamlined compliance and returns process set up, you can remove a lot of those types of issues from surfacing in the first place.
Great questions. Do we have any more? I don't think we do, but if you do, Darwish already said where to go to book a call with them. Also, you can join the virtual booth at the top, join OpenBorder's booth to connect with them. And then the gift card winner, keep the questions coming because we're doing gift cards literally every session. Gift card winner is Robert Tannery. So we'll contact you with your $50 Amazon gift card. Thank you all for continuing to stay in this. I know we have one more question, but I think we're going to get cut off. So Atinu, bring the question to the virtual booth and Darwish and his team will reach out to you guys because I think we're going to get cut off in the next 30 seconds and like that's not going to be great. Well, awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Darwish. Head over to that booth and we'll have the next session coming up soon.